Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Minister of Land Infrastructure Transport Republic of Korea, Hyung-uk-no, and our distinguished guests with a big round of applause. 여러분 큰 박수로 노영욱 장관님을 맞이해 주시기 바랍니다. Welcome to 2022 ICAO Legal Seminar. My name is Sori Moon, the professional TV host here in Korea. I was able to join you as your master of ceremony for today's seminar, and I'm so delighted to meet everyone who are always opening new ways to the sky for the sustainable development in the international aviation sector. And I'm so pleased to meet over 100 participants from abroad. It's been 2 years. Thank you very much for joining us today. And also before we begin, we'd like to extend our sincere gratitude for joining us today in this hybrid seminar. Yes, this seminar room I am standing in has completed quarantine to prevent the spread of coronavirus and is following the quarantine instruction. For your information, today's seminar is being streamed online through the seminar's YouTube channel, and it's being operated in 2 separate channels, English and Korean. Once more, on behalf of ICAO and the Ministry of Land Infrastructure and Transport, the Republic of Korea, we wish to extend our deepest gratitude to all of you for joining us here today in this meaningful occasion. Now, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we'll commence the opening ceremony.
I am the Republic of Korea. Bridging international cities together, connecting dreams beyond the skies. A part of you as well. I am the Aviation of the Republic of Korea. I connect the skies of the world. With up to 204 routes weaving cities all over the world, we are close to you more than ever. With Incheon International Airport, a gateway to the world, I have 15 airports and 12 national airlines, as well as carry over 16.5 billion RTK in passengers and freight annually. I'm taking full responsibility as the world's top 5 air transport country, always striving to intertwine the world's skies.
Would you like to go?
I connect people's dreams together. I want airports to be more than just a place to pass by. A place where people can come and have a pleasant experience. A truly smart airport, equipped with fully integrated information and communication technology, enables passengers to enjoy faster and convenient services while maximizing operational efficiency. Even in the midst of the global pandemic, our safe and secure aviation services continued seamlessly. With contactless immigrations and boarding procedures in place, your journey at the airport is safer, smoother, and faster. Though there may be more changes along the way, I'll always renew myself to respond to them. I'll always be ready to provide pleasant airport experience to the people who will soon come and fill the airports once again with hopes and dreams.
I connect technology with safety and security, from aircraft production to operation, maintenance and repair. I'm ready to develop innovative aviation technology. With urban air mobility, I'm expanding the horizon of air transport. Smiths and Soames aviation safety IT systems allow us to implement systematic safety management anytime, anywhere. ATFM reduces delays of flights by precisely calculating and analyzing route congestion in advance. Not only have I developed an efficient and systematic safety management system, but our seasoned professionals also continues to participate in training programs. There's a reason I don't ever let my guard down. It is to offer you a comfortable and safe journey.
I share my experiences with other countries around the world. The first flight of Korea was in hope of reclaiming the nation once lost. A century has passed, and I have achieved remarkable growth. Now, as a council member of ICAO, I am working to advance the global aviation industry, discussing international standards and policy. I'm sharing aviation safety and airport management know-how with ICAO member states, while providing scholarship programs in an effort to nurture aviation professionals. I also joined the global effort to reduce carbon emissions, exploring and sharing environmentally sustainable aviation operations and policies. Thereby, I hope to aid in making our skies and Earth greener. We can't wait for the skies to open up again. I am actively participating in global pandemic responses and ICAO Council Aviation Recovery Task Force. In line with these efforts, I'm resuming scheduled international flights with countries that have the pandemic under control, endeavoring to facilitate safe and sustainable recovery in the global aviation industry.
"70 years ago, I took the first step to join the international civil community with ICAO. Just like the start, reopening the skies and reconnecting the world, here we are again. I am the aviation of the Republic of Korea."
Let us open the doors with a big round of applause of today's seminar. Thank you. Yes, so we've just started today's seminar with the opening video, and the pandemic situation caused change in the international aviation sector, and we make even more drastic changes in the future. So it would be very appreciated if everyone just will share your opinions in this seminar. Now, to kick off today's opening ceremony, it is my great pleasure to invite to the podium the Secretary General of ICAO, Juan Carlos Salazar, for his opening address. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
His Excellency Young Ok No, Minister of Land, Infrastructure, and Transport of the Republic of Korea, Directors Generals of Civil Aviation, ICAO Council representatives, distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the International Civil Aviation Organization, I would like to express my sincere gratitude and appreciation to the government of the Republic of Korea for the very warm welcome extended to ICAO and all the officials for the excellent facilities it has provided and the organization of this timely ICAO legal seminar. I will remark as well that this is the 6th ICAO legal seminar hosted by the Republic of Korea, and that these events have been taking place on a roughly triennial basis since 2006. ICAO is extremely grateful for this long-standing commitment from the government of the Republic of Korea and for its consistent and comprehensive support for ICAO's work, whether in the legal or in any other transport domain. After 2 years marked by the international public health crisis, it is tremendously encouraging that this seminar can take place over the next 2 days in a hybrid format and with a large number of participants attending in person here in Seoul. I, for one, am very pleased to be able to finally travel to meet with state officials and other stakeholders in person after all this time, just as I'm sure many of you here with us are very excited today. This seminar will explore a wide range of contemporary subjects in the legal field, some of which are currently on the work program of the ICAO legal program, the legal committee. It will also explore several new and emerging topics, such as the recent developments that are taking place at ICAO with respect to pilotless aircraft, cyber attacks against civil aviation, climate change, and support to families of aircraft accident victims. We will also be exploring the recovery of international civil aviation and the application of public health measures on board aircraft, topics of great importance to the long-term resilience of the sector against future global public health crises. Since I was appointed as Secretary General of ICAO last year, I have made it my key priority to support the sector's pandemic recovery and reconnect the world while keeping vigilant on our long-term strategies to support the development of safe, secure, and sustainable air transport. I have also committed to focus on instilling good governance and ethics on ICAO's work to drive the digital transformation of the organization infrastructure and working methods, and to increase our responsiveness on multi-stakeholder engagement. In all of these matters, the role of legal experts and the importance of the rule of law is fundamental. The agenda for this seminar is therefore particularly relevant and important for me. I am, of course, aware that there has been strong concerns expressed recently within ICAO Council members and some of our member states regarding some of the legal issues arising from the current conflict in Ukraine. Whilst those issues are not in the agenda for this meeting and will be continued to address by the Council, which I believe is the most appropriate place for that, I have taken urgent steps to remind member states of their obligations under the Chicago Convention. ICAO is fully aligned with the views which have been expressed by the United Nations, and I hope that we will see a speedy and peaceful resolution to this conflict. Leading this seminar this year will be our relatively new Legal Bureau Director, Mr. Michael Gill, along with ICAO legal officers Andrew Opolot, Christopher Petras, and Matthew Bengos. My recognition to their work. I also wish to highlight that 2022 marks several anniversaries at ICAO, including the 75th anniversary of the entry into force of the Chicago Convention on 1st April 1947, and the 75th anniversary of the establishment of the legal committee that had its first session in the ICAO Assembly in May 1947. And as I already highlighted yesterday evening, this year marks the 70th anniversary of the Republic of Korea's adherence to the Chicago Convention. In concluding today, please let me remind you that the success of this event is very strongly tied to how actively you participate on it. I encourage all participants to take full advantage of the opportunity that the organizers, together with ICAO, have offered, and I wish you all an engaging and very thought-provoking seminar. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary General, for instruction of long history of ICAO and also your great efforts to solve the aviation sector's dilemma despite a very difficult situation of COVID-19. Thank you very much once again. Yes, today the Minister, His Excellency Hyung-uk No of Land Infrastructure and Transport, the Republic of Korea, is joining us to welcome all participants here. Let us hear his welcoming address on stage. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
여러분 반갑습니다.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am No Hyung-uk, the Minister of Ministry of the Land, Infrastructure and Transport of the Republic of Korea. I'd like to congratulate you on the opening of 2022 ICAO Legal Seminar. And I'd like to thank the distinguished guests who are here with us despite their busy schedule. Honorable Secretary General of ICAO, Mr. Juan Carlos Salazar, Director of Legal Affairs and External Relations Bureau of ICAO, Mr. Michael Gill, Secretary General of LACA, Mr. Jaime Binder, and Director Generals of Civil Aviation Authorities from all around the world, and the representatives to ICAO and distinguished guests. Greetings to you all. And I'd also like to thank our online participants who are joining us through YouTube. Thank you very much for being with us today. On behalf of the Korean people, I wholeheartedly welcome you all to Korea. So COVID-19 has been a great challenge to us for the past 2.5 years, and it seems like the COVID-19 outbreak has reached its peak and is coming to an end or endemic. However, we cannot be complacent. It is all the more meaningful and delightful that we are hosting the 2022 ICAO Legal Seminar amidst these difficulties posed by the pandemic. As you may well know, the seminar is the 6th of its kind since its creation in 2006. So we have hosted this for every 3 years. So at the beginning, we dealt with major issues related to the Chicago Convention. And as time goes by, we expanded the topics of the legal seminar, including safety, security, climate change, as well as the preparation for the fourth industrial revolution of the future, as well as the aviation issues, especially the future of civil aviation. So we have expanded the scale as well as the list of topics. Especially in this year's seminar, we are going to talk about a sustainable future for civil aviation, especially in the post-COVID-19 era, and how the world see the light at the end of the tunnel of COVID-19, and how we can help recovery of the civil aviation. As you may well know, COVID-19 pandemic has given us great hardship. And if you see the statistics, especially if you see the Asia-Pacific region, the civil aviation capacity has reduced by actually 95.4%, especially the international passenger traffic. However, the international aviation community did not succumb to this setback. We are gathering our wisdom once again. ICAO has organized the CART, the Council Aviation Recovery Task Force, to make efforts together with the member states. And the governments around the world are also making great effort to support the aviation industry's recovery, including stimulus packages. In some countries, ease regulations and enabling airlines to convert passenger aircraft grounded at airports to cargo aircraft. And also, governments, industry, and international organizations are working together to surmount this challenge, establishing travel bubbles with other countries and keeping the global aviation network intact. So these are the new wisdoms that we have gathered together. So I believe that the countries, the governments, the industries, and international organizations have worked together to overcome this unprecedented pandemic, and we have been doing great. As the Korean proverb goes, after a storm comes a calm. Although we have suffered a loss due to the pandemic, we also gained a valuable insight into combating pandemics, which is cooperation. Just like you saw from the opening video, this year marks the 70th anniversary of Korea joining ICAO. Korea joined ICAO on December 11th, 1952, in the middle of the Korean War, despite all those difficulties that we were experiencing in our country. And in 2020, Korea ranked 5th in terms of aviation transport, and then we have been elected as the council member of ICAO for the 7th time. So we have made great achievements in the past 70 years. So we could become an aviation powerhouse thanks to the support and cooperation from the ICAO as well as 193 ICAO member states. It would not have been possible without their support. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank and express my great gratitude to the Secretary General of ICAO, Mr. Juan Carlos Salazar, and all those ICAO Secretariat and Director Generals of Civil Aviation Authorities, as well as the representatives of ICAO. While contributing to the international aviation community, the Korean government will establish aviation laws and systems to ensure that emerging aerospace technologies develop sustainably and safely. And ICAO's No Country Left Behind initiative presents important values that we should all support together during this crisis, and Korea will spare no effort to support this initiative. So the location that we are gathered here together is called Yeouido, and then 100 years ago, Yeouido was just an island of sand. But we first established the first airport of Korea on this island, Yeouido. But this place was really vulnerable to flood during the summertime. That is why we moved to Gimpo Airport and then Incheon Airport. And then from the early 1970s, Yeouido started to become what it is right now. And to protect from the flood, we built the banks around this island. And I don't know if you have seen that, but we have planted cherry blossom trees. So at this time, every year, we always celebrate the cherry blossom festival. We're going to have this legal seminar for 3 days, including today, and I hope we will gather wisdom for the future of civil aviation. And at the same time, I hope you will enjoy your time in Korea, even though it will be a very short visit. And please enjoy everything that we can offer from Korea. I'd like to once again thank you for joining us at this 2022 ICAO Legal Seminar. Thank you very much.
Yes, I would like to thank the Mr. Minister for reminding us of the meaning of today's event and also cheering us on. Thank you very much once again. And next, everyone, we'll have the congratulatory address from the Ambassador Honorable Sang Do Kim, of representative of Republic of Korea to ICAO. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming him with a big round of applause.
Dear Minister, Secretary General, and distinguished guests, first of all, I'd like to thank Minister Hyung No for hosting and inviting us to this event. I also would like to express my sincere gratitude to Secretary General Mr. Juan Carlos Salazar, representatives of ICAO Council, Director of Legal Bureau Mr. Michael Gill, participating Director Generals of Civil Aviation, and distinguished guests for your precious time. My thanks also goes to everyone who prepared today's event. In addition, I would like to say that it's a pleasure and honor to give congratulatory remarks on behalf of my fellow council members. Distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, since its inception in 2006, the ICAO Legal Seminar has been a valuable opportunity to address law-related issues in the international civil aviation. With the gradual recovery of the global aviation industry from the COVID-19 pandemic, this year's seminar is more meaningful than most. In addition, this year's legal seminar is timely as ICAO celebrates the 75th anniversary of its establishment. The founding document of the organization is the Convention on International Civil Aviation, adopted at the Chicago Conference on December 7, 1944, and entered into force on April 4, 1947. The Chicago Convention was a historic achievement that established a more open and free international aviation regime while restoring orderliness to the system after it had been broken by World War II. The value of ICAO and the Chicago Convention can be easily understood by simply imagining a world without them. As we commemorate the 75th anniversary of ICAO's creation, I would like to highlight three specific achievements that the organization and the Chicago Convention have brought to international law. First, ICAO has presented an excellent and unique model for the peaceful resolution of international disputes through the systemic and harmonious application of diplomatic negotiations and judicial decisions. Second, the Chicago Convention is equipped with an effective dual system consisting of a normative part, the convention text, and the annexes, which constitute the technical part. The main body of the convention text is intended to be amended by at least 2/3 of the total number of contracting states to ensure legal stability, while the annexes can be amended by Council decisions in a more timely way to reflect ever-changing technical requirements. As a result, ICAO has demonstrated remarkable legislative capacity by having adopted over 12,000 standards and recommended practice, namely SARPs, since its inception. Third, with the adoption of the Chicago Convention, the provisional ICAO, namely PICAO, a preparatory body for the establishment of ICAO, was created. PICAO was equipped with an interim council and secretariat and successfully held the PICAO Assembly in May 1946. PICAO's information and documents were transferred to ICAO, making an exemplary case of the organized preparatory work pending the entry into force of the permanent arrangements. The challenges ahead of the international civil aviation community are not easy. While traditional civil aviation issues such as safety and security become more and more complex, new issues such as climate change and unmanned aircraft systems increasingly draw our attention. All these items require more sophisticated and in-depth legal analysis and scrutiny. In this regard, I would like to emphasize paying due consideration to the development of international civil aviation laws and providing the necessary support so that ICAO can acquire and invest more resources in the field of law. I expect that this seminar will not only discuss major issues in the field of international civil law over the past 4 years, but also strengthen communications among the global aviation community, which has been hindered by the COVID-19 pandemic. By thanking the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport for the hospitality extended to us, I wish for the success of the seminar. Thank you very much.
Yes, actually, Ambassador Kim carries out various activities at ICAO as a diplomat. Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador, for congratulating the opening of today's seminar with a warm, kind words. And I know and I'm aware that today's seminar is an ICAO event that the most amount of participants held after COVID-19. So we should have one more congratulatory address. The Secretary, Jamie Binder of Latin American Civil Aviation Commission will deliver us his congratulatory remarks on stage. Please welcome him with a big round of applause.
Mr. Hyun Kok-no, Minister of Land, Infrastructure and Transport, Republic of Korea, Mr. Juan Carlos Salazar, Secretary General of ICAO, distinguished Directors Generals, distinguished ICAO Council's representatives, ladies and gentlemen. As Secretary of the Latin American Civil Aviation Commission, I am pleased to be present at this 2022 ICAO Legal Seminar to give some remarks. I want to start by thanking the South Korean authorities, especially the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport, MOLIT, for their warm welcome, for being the supporters of this seminar, and for their generosity for the development of civil aviation under the principle developed at ICAO, that no country is left behind. From our region, we really appreciate the well-known contributions of the Republic of Korea for the development of commercial aviation. In this regard, I would also like to thank ICAO through its Secretary General for the great professional and technical contribution that allow us to success of this meeting organized jointly with the Republic of Korea. Commercial aviation has been subject to enormous challenges in the last 2 years. It has faced the worst crisis in its history. Even we already see a light at the end of the tunnel, new challenges appear on the horizon. We are living moments of great uncertainty, and it's necessary to adapt. We are not facing an easy environment for the development of air law, since the law and regulations consolidate situations. This is an ever-present tension in our field, how to create or ensure rules and, at the same time, maintain flexibility in the face of a changing environment. We look to the future with optimism. Spring in Seoul also has a positive effect on our mood. And additionally, there are reasons to celebrate. First of all, we celebrate Korea's 70th anniversary in ICAO. Beyond aviation, the Republic of Korea has experienced remarkable development over the years. And today, it is a technological and cultural benchmark in the world. It has a special influence in South America on the young generations. Without doubt, Korean aviation has been and is an engine for the remarkable development of this country. Secondly, we are currently celebrating the 75th anniversary of the Legal Committee. Throughout time, the committee has prepared several air law treaties in different fields of aviation that have made possible the development of commercial aviation with a common legal framework. And I would like to, third reasons to celebrate the simple fact of meeting today, in person and virtually, is cause for celebration. We are gathered here because we want to exchange experiences and knowledge between experts from different countries and nations around the world in order to promote civil aviation development. That is a symbol that there are no borders in the world, as we face the same problem throughout. This is because we are citizens of a single planet. We are currently undergoing many changes to a volatile environment as we are facing moments of uncertainty that we must live through. There are times when it's worth talking and deliberating more than achieving objectives and rules written in stone. There are times when the journey itself is more valuable than the destination. There are times when flexibility can become a bridge of unity and strength. I want to reiterate that the spring in Seoul is the best settings for these discussions. Thank you very much for the opportunity that the Republic of Korea offers along with ICAO to start the path that leads us to enhancing the international legal framework. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the Secretary Jamie Binder, for your remarkable message. Thank you very much once again. So now, everyone, we'd like to move on to the next program, keynote speech. It will be time to ponder on fast method for the aviation sector to recover from the pandemic. So we'll now start the keynote speech on fostering aviation recovery from the impacts of COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Stanislao Esono Angesmo, the representative of Equatorial Guinea, to ICAO with a big round of applause to the stage.
Good morning, everybody. Excellency, Honorable Minister of Land, Infrastructure and Transport of the Republic of Korea, Secretary General of ICAO, distinguished guests, ministers, ambassadors, dear colleagues from ICAO Council, from Secretariat, distinguished guests, Director of Civil Aviation. First of all, I would like to take this opportunity on behalf of the Council members, as has been said before with several speakers, for the excellent jobs and activities we have seen during the short period we have been here for 2 days. This is my second visit in Korea. I visited Korea in 2017. At that time, I witnessed the airport plans, the ancient airport. And I can say today, in less than 20 years, what I saw 2 days ago, it wasn't exactly the same what I see 5 years back. And that is really encouraging. I said it's encouraging. It's not only encouraging, it's an example to be followed. That takes me to a subject that is going to be debated from multi-sectoral aspect, that is the way forward and forecasting for recovery. Excellencies, as you are aware, COVID pandemic has had a detrimental impact globally, pushing millions of people into poverty. It is not only a health crisis, so all of us will believe on that, but also it has also caused economic and social distress throughout the globe. And aviation, in this particular case, as a mode of transport, being the most affected. However, as of today, 3 years back, it was almost mission impossible for each of us to come out of a house. Wherever we were acting, working as families, transport, industry, international organization, everything was closed. And I'm pleased to see today, and I think that is a very important example, that today we are able to gather together, meaning we can see each other face to face, we can speak with each other, we can greet each other, and the psychological impact that COVID has affected us from being pandemic and now being or translating to endemic, it seems to be a reality. Now, in this seminar, this will be one of the important issues, including regulation on this aspect. We have talking about restart. We have talking about effective way to fight it with COVID. Now, we are talking about recovery. During this period, what have we done? As a chair of CAT, I deal with you in so many meetings. We may recall that we established 10 principles of CAT, CAT 1. We established 20 recommendations, CAT 2. And CAT 3, we had the so-called cross-border risk management, which was our intention at that time, still continue being, to assist both states, industry, partners, international organizations, and so on. Therefore, when we talk about the transition from pandemic to endemic, it means to say that we need to learn how to live with COVID. And this is a good example we have today. Again, fostering recovery. The 3 phases of CAT, which I just mentioned, provided a total of webinars which has been transmitted to all over the world, all corners, and all countries. Furthermore, during the high-level conference COVID-19 held in October 2021 in Montreal, ICAO provided a further opportunity to promote and strengthen collective effort to harmonize measures. Also, country was reminded the need to work together in harmoniously way and follow similar protocol, or at least trying to be near. Looking forward, that is the case today. During this seminar, we will hear so many different aspects from a legal point of view, from what could be a structural point of view where ICAO, both Secretary and the Council, are working and to assist the international community, industry, and partners. Again, looking forward, we should focus on 3 key main areas. The first one is adoption. What is adoption? Adoption of simplified health protocol with travel barriers removed for full vaccinated passengers and pre-departure antigens testing for non-vaccinated travelers. The second important aspect we should be able to continue elaborate looking forward is implementation of digital solutions for the processing of health credential, collection of travel information, and communication of travel requirements. And the third and the most important point is application of proper risk-based COVID management, measures that we have highlighted in ICAO manual. At geopolitical level, recovery will continue to require in-sectoral collaborative dialogue, leaderships, solidarity, transparency, building trust for greater global coming together and a global sustainable solution for all where innovations will be central to renew way of thinking and doing business. Dear colleagues, in this regard, I would like to take this opportunity, first of all, to highlight some important aspects. Basically, I call it the proactive diplomacy which the Republic of Korea has taken not only during pandemic, but even before pandemic, and continue doing so. In which aspect? During and after pandemics, by sharing information, one, by consolidated industry forum, communicated effectively with the public provided, and sharing, as I said before, big data with all parties. And this is example of being and sharing best practices. Excellencies, distinguished guests, with these few remarks, in closing remark, I wish you a prosperous and fruitful deliberations. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, Mr. Asanis, Lavason, and Yasmo for sharing your precious opinions on fostering aviation recovery from the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you very much. Although it is incomplete, the pandemic situation is gradually getting better and the movement towards normalization is getting bigger. So by all means, I also look forward to the industry's fast recovery. Now, this marks the end of the opening ceremony for the 2022 ICAO Legal Seminar. But meeting these ceremonies, and let us take a commemorative photograph with everyone who made it all the way here. So it is first event in a long while since we met face to face, so we should capture this precious moment together. First of all, I'd like to invite to the stage the Minister, His Excellency Hyung-uk No. Would you please come forward? And the Secretary General, Juan Carlos Salazar, would you please come forward? Thank you very much. Let us take a group photo. And also, I'd like to invite our distinguished guests. Our staff will guide you. All speakers and panelists and our honored guests, would you please come forward? All speakers and distinguished guests, honored guests, and moderator, panelists, please come forward to take a group photo to remain this precious moment in the history of ICAO. Thank you very much. And I believe that through this seminar, we will go forward for the development of international aviation sector. And I hope that you will give us your opinions and experience share the experiences during the seminar. Once again, thank you very much for participating and attending in this seminar despite a COVID-19 situation. This is quite wonderful to meet face to face. We've met for a long time. So why don't you give your smile even though you are wearing the mask to his camera in hope for the development of ICAO? And this is a good idea. Why don't we just take a photo clapping and the congratulations for the seminar. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'd like to invite your seats back. Thank you. 다시 한번 자리로 모시겠습니다. 고맙습니다. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, we thank for your patience and understanding. And I know some of our participants will wait for the first session. But before the first session, we'll take a 25 minutes break. Please return to your seats by 11:10. Thank you very much. Let us meet again at the first session. Thank you.